everything set up here. Yeah. I also realized that I've been a complete dumbass and that my region has been set to Brazil for some reason instead of North America. So I've been playing in the wrong region since Sunday, I believe. No, Monday. I've been playing almost 2 days in the wrong region completely. So that's my bad right there. So this video is called Why Flanks Are Strong, and there's a reason for that. Is a lot of people are calling flanks a broken class, and that's why a lot of people like Koga. A lot of people say Koga is not overpowered, that Koga is very balanced, that, oh, he's overrated, oh, he's really good, oh, blah, blah, blah. For one thing, let's start with why flanks are not strong. Let's start there. For one thing, flanks are very easy to counter. Anara,
I have many credits.
treacherous ground. Allow me to explain why flanks are weak. I'm on the point. This is my point. I drop on the wall, pop up my earthen guard, I think I'm good. Oh, hello, Zin! Cripple. What's that? You want to run away? Fuck you.
Trespass against the wild.
There you go. Flanks are one of the easiest classes in the game to counter. They are small champions with low health that rely on annoying and surprising enemies. If you're not good at annoying and surprising your enemy, you're not going to be a good flanker. Now, this is the thing. Flanks excel in 4 categories. Damage. Now, you're not going to be Tyra or Victor, Vivian, Willow, applying constant DPS, Drogos, Bomb King, Shaolin, Cassie with your high burst DPS against solitary targets, Strix and Kanessa just being in the back line pissing you off because you can't do anything, and Leon floating around like a butterfly between front line, back line, jazz hands. That kind of stuff. It's important to realize that damage dealers are not just damages. Lex, Talus, Zin, Moji, Sky, they're all capable damage dealers. Flankers have 4 primary things: mobility, annoyance, flexibility, and damage. Now, flank champions should be divided by damage. Zin is a constant DPS champion. Moji is a constant DPS champion. Sky is a constant DPS champion. Talus is a burst DPS champion. Maeve is a burst DPS champion. Lex is a burst DPS champion. Eevee is a burst DPS champion. Androxus is a burst DPS champion. Koga is a constant DPS champion. So what do I mean by that? Go pull out Moji, because I'm Emoji main. Allow me to explain what I mean by constant DPS. So, here's your enemy flank, and I'm going to, this is, by the way, is going to be a guide for the rest of the video. Here's your enemy flank, here's your tank, here's your back lines and healers. So I'm playing Moji, right? I'm coming up from the back line, Double
kill. Triple kill. Killing spree. Quadra kill. Pentakill. Rampage. Hexakill.
Constant DPS.
Hexakill.
Constant damage.
That's 7 in a row.
Now we go to Androxus. Androxus is a burst DPS champion, right? Let's go roll. Alright, so we get around the flanker. And we get a perch up here and
Double kill.
Like this.
Triple kill.
ah! Taking damage! Taking damage!
Death awaits you all. Double kill. That's 5 in a row. kill. Triple kill. That's 9 in a row. Quadra kill. Pentakill. That's 11 in a
Now,
row.
that's an example of Androxus being played as a constant DPS champion. How commonly do you see that, though? Normally you see this.
That's 13 in a row.
Death awaits you all.
That's more commonly what you see, those hit-and-run style tactics. You don't play an Androxus like Emoji, and you don't play Emoji like an Androxus. That's an example that I'm trying to showcase right now. Even though I kind of playing DPS and just fucking around a bit. Here's the thing. A lot of champions are often now being considered, especially flanks, on the lower tier. If you want to classify top tier and low tier, Buck, who I keep forgetting about for some reason, Maeve, Xin, Eevee, and Koga are considered your strongest flanks. Androxus is somewhere in the middle. Moji, Sky, Talus, and where's the other one? Lex are all considered your low tier champions. Right? Why? Well, for one thing, look at mobility. Koga is a strong champion. It doesn't matter. Koga has the ability to dash around very quickly, has a passive ability that allows him to climb up walls, has agility which allows him to jump and move faster. This gives him additional movement abilities. Then you have Skewer, which is another nice option for you. It also grants you the ability to go up into the air like that. Koga's mobility is all centered around his energy, around the constant ability to deal damage to enemies when they least expect it. For example, we have enemy over here, so we dash, switch to claws, fly up into the air to get away using Skewer. That's just to get energy back. Dash around, switch to your claws, fly up into the air. Things of that nature. He does possess multiple abilities for movement. Androxus is another champion that a lot of people say is near the upper tier. Why is that? He has ground-based dashes. He has aerial dashes and mobility in air. Because of this, this gives him vertical options that not a lot of people use. The ability to go high up into the air, the ability to use your ult as an escape tool is nice.
Death awaits you all.
See things of this nature. He has vertical and lateral mobility. Another good champion is Buck. Why is Buck widely considered... I'm using Bounce House just because. Why is Buck considered to be a good champion? Buck has... Well, I missed that jump. But Buck has good lateral mobility. He has good lateral and good vertical mobility. I can jump up top here. I'll wait for the cooldown to go down. I need to surprise the target over there. Next shot. Jump right at him. Hiya, buddy! This gives me the ability to control space very easily. Target over there I need to deal with. Next shot. Hiya, buddy! Slam. In your face. Another champion people say is very good as a flank is another highly mobile champion, that being Eevee. Notice I will not be choosing Wormhole, I'm going to choose Over the Moon with my Sora build. Eevee is an incredibly versatile champion because she has the ability to be... She has the ability to perform multiple separate functions. can teleport, she can ice block, she can fly, and all of these grant various different abilities. She can use Soar to fly up, and away. Teleport very effectively. She can teleport twice in quick succession on Wormhole. She can fly. Ice block is not considered an escape tool, but it also should be. Watch. Think about it. If you're getting shot out of the air after you blink and fly all the time, you can use your ice block to drop. Now, Eevee, in my opinion, is one of the strongest flankers, not for the damage that she deals, more important, not for the damage that she deals, but because of the fact that she's able to just simply move around so reliably. All of her abilities give her options. And that's a key for her. The constant ability to keep on the move makes her an effective flank. Other champion, Maeve. Maeve is an absolute beast, if you think about it. Maeve has the ability to prowl. Granting double jump. Nice. She needs vertical mobility. I can do something like that and do a double pounce type reset. So Maeve does have good, decent mobility as well. Other champions with good mobility, the last one we have left is Xin. Yeah, I think that's... yeah, just Xin. Right? Why is Xin so annoying? Now, this is the thing where people say that flanks are the weakest class. I call complete and utter bullshit on for the simple fact that Xin and Moji are two of the most banned champions in Ranked on console. Now, yes, Moji's a bit of a beast on console compared to PC, but go fuck yourself if you think otherwise. Here's an example, right? Oh, no, that's the wrong build. Do this one. Here's an example of why Xin is so dangerous. If you think about it, every one of Xin's abilities is quite simply a mobility skill. I'm gonna grab Morale Boost 3 for a reason, and I'm gonna go kill a target just to refill mine.
Double kill.
I need to kill Purgatory.
Triple kill. Killing spree.
There we go.
I need to spend.
Xin has incredibly diverse set of moves to him that allow him to challenge an enemy. He's the ultimate flanker, but not for anything you think. For example, if you look at Xin, Xin is an excellent flanker because the fact that he has 4 abilities out of his 5 abilities that can be used as defensive and movement abilities. I can put a counter in front of me as a one-hit escape option without retaliation, and with retaliation, I can use it as a multiple offensive attack, blocking multiple abilities to get in and out of challenges. Whirl is a good fight starter, while Billow is a good fight ender. However, conversely, I can do something incredibly similar. I can use counter to initiate a fight, whirl to continue it, and then as an escape option, I can use my ult. Your ult, as I demonstrated just now, has incredible vertical mobility. This allows you to contest in air and on ground. Pesky Xin giving you what's his name giving you trouble? Constantly use it. Spam it. Don't be afraid to abuse it. Whirl in and out. Billow in and out. Counter in and out. It gives you options for no matter what you do. Everything that you do gives you the ability, as specifically as this champion, to move around flexibly. Another example, so that's the examples of good flankers. Now looking at bad flankers, why? Why are all the other flanks bad? And this is where I want to contend with. I will have a video similar to this for the damage class. But everybody says that Moji is the worst flank, Skye follows, Talus is right behind, then we have Lex rounding out, and I think I covered everybody else. So these 4 flanks, when in fact they're very strong. In fact, Skye and Moji, in my opinion, are 2 of the strongest flanks in the game. Xin, in my opinion, is the strongest flank for all-around versatility. Eevee is the all-around best flanks in terms of overall mobility. And for damage, that's where Moji Skye come in. Moji Skye are constant DPS champions that don't revolve around their mobility. They revolve around their staying power. Many people get on Skye. Skye has two really good damage abilities that allow you to control enemies. Debilitate and Smoke and Dagger. And these two abilities function completely differently. Smoke and Dagger gives you area control over a large degree. The ability not only to hide teammates on the point, but deal mass damage on the point, giving you an area damage attack outside of your ultimate. And the ability to hide your ultimate with a smoke screen and a bomb. 600 damage to weaken people up. Debilitate gives you a very powerful anti-tank, anti-healing option. With 75% cauterize built in, you're free to focus on morale boost early on rather than actually needing cauterize. So Debilitate is a much better option for you if you want to melt tanks quicker. You can melt a tank for 40% maximum health for every time you fire off your poison bolts, which means 2 poison bolts is all you should really need. That's 85% health. A good damage dealer usually should do about 10 to 20% of a target's damage before a flank engages them, so that's the kill right there. Looking at Smoke and Dagger just because it's the most versatile, here's where a lot of flanks go wrong. Positioning. Weaker champions with less mobility are the 4 that I'm covering. Well, how do you handle the situation? For one thing, most people instantly think that what they want to do is they want to use their hidden as a tool to get in. Then they want to lie in wait and hide until their mobility is about to go down. I'm trying to get up here. Then, boom, fire off an attack and sit there and try and deal damage to a target and use their smoke screen as an option to escape. The problem is, Smoke and Daggers makes it a very effective tool. Skye is actually, in my opinion, not meant to be a stealthy champion. She's meant to use her hidden as a tool to get into fights, into position. Then murder everything in sight with that same mobility.
Just keep coming.
Killing spree. Double kill. Triple kill. Rampage.
That's not
Quadra
ready.
kill.
Time's ticking.
Pentakill.
That's an example right there of how Skye should be played. Not as a highly mobile, get in and out type champion, but as a champion who relies more on her DPS in there. A lot of people say Skye's a bad flank because she can only trade shots, a life for a life. What a lot of people don't really realize is that Skye excels at being able to burst down high-value targets. And to explain this better, let's go back over to the area where there's the Fernando, the Ying, and the Skye. Also note that it's very important that you have long-range damage options. So let's start with a good example right here. Let's say that's the You want to use hidden to get in, smoke screen to burst them down, and then hit your tank with the burst. While your tank is bleeding out, you can focus on the healer. Eliminate the healer, chuck a smoke screen, work on the flank real quick, come back and re-poison the target. That tank is dead, and you get the double kill. You can go back and start focusing down the other champion. Chuck the bomb for good measure as an escape, and seal your escape. What you need to realize with with Skye is that you're not a hit and run champion as a lot of people think you rather are. Your job is actually to burst down targets and let your damage do more of an advanced flanking role. You yourself should be constantly rotating your damage abilities. Remember, look at the thing here. Poison the tank, hit this support with smoke screen, and start shooting the other target. Go back to poisoning the tank, back to smoke screening this target, back to shooting this target. Poison bolt again, smoke screen again, shoot your target again. That is an effective example of how you want to play. You have 3 primary damage abilities, and you should be using all of them, not focusing on hit and run. The next champion that we want to cover is going to be Talus. Talus is another low champion, is a low skill champion people say. Now, looking at Talus, notice the legendary card that I'm selecting. Raging Demon is not a good card to select, because look at the thing. You're going to have a 4-second overcharge, but with Inner Strength, you actually can get a 6-second overcharge, because you have overcharge for 3 seconds, teleport, and then do another overcharge for 3 seconds. 2 overcharges in a quick succession allow you to have a total 6-second overcharge before your cooldown actually kicks in, rather than just one 4-second cooldown. This card is another card that, in my opinion, is not very good. You have to actually think about your teleport, and you have to think about it too much. And this card is kind of a fun card to play around with. Think of it as Guillotine, only for low health targets. Looking at Talus, Talus, in my opinion, is one of the worst flanks. He doesn't have any effective tools for getting in outside of his punch. His teleport requires planning, and enemies can obviously just sit there and camp it like this. And when you teleport back to it, you're kind of screwed over if they are camping you. You have no vertical mobility as well. Why would you choose Talus? And why is Talus not a low-tier champion? Well, as bad as Talus can be, Talus is also one of the most incredibly annoying characters. Think about it. You have an enemy team... Where are they at? Yeah, here we go. You have an enemy team. So you drop your teleport just outside of where you want to initiate the fight. You blitz the Rupper in, start the pot shot, then switch to your overcharge to burst down a champion, teleport out to reset your cooldown. Blitz the Rupper back in, use your overcharge, and continue mowing down targets. Now, you want to start thinking about your escape options. Also, your teleport is the best part of your kit. Your teleport gives you the ability to dash in and out of situations. For example, I can swing around, teleport all the way to the other side of the map, and wreak havoc over here. It's important to note on your teleport that your teleport is your best fight starter, to be honest. Using it to dismount, get in and out. Talus relies more on his team to help him than anything else. He's not going to burst down high-value targets on his own and survive. Also, Life Rip is a must item that you need on him. The next champion I'm going to go over, because it's fairly simple, is Lex and Moji. I'll do Moji first because I'm a Moji main. For one thing, if you're going for damage, stop taking these 3 cards. Yummy is good if you're trying to focus the team down one by one, focusing on hitting your ult, recharging it, kind of like a Leon. The disadvantage to that is, what you need to realize is, your ult is hard to hit, and it's a CC-based attack. Snack Attack is effective if you're planning on running a kill to heal build like Koga. Koga has a card where Skewer can restore up to 1,000 health, and if you max out kill to heal, every kill with Skewer will reset your health bar completely. And on Moji you can do something similar. You can get 1,700 health back if you max out kill to heal, and you get the health drop, which is a nice combo. Also note that it's only on characters that you kill, not assists, and you have to go pick up the actual health drop. So if you kill an enemy in an uncomfortable spot, i.e. a Tyra Firebomb, you're kind of fucked. Toot is also not an effective card in terms of damage. Yes, it allows you to heal allies, but the problem is, you're healing allies. You're not actually doing any damage. And Moji is best as an on-point damage. One of the things a lot of people also don't realize with Moji, when we look at editing loadout, is the most important loadout card you can possibly have on Moji is Peppy. Literally. If you're going to run any card on Moji, you want to run Peppy at level 5. Thank you very much and be done. This allows your cooldowns to almost reset after a certain period of time. For example, Magic Barrier, which we activate, has a 10-second cooldown, and Scamper, when we activate it, has a 7-second cooldown. Let's activate this because it's longer. And there's the cooldown reset.
I gotta spend these
Sorry
tiny things.
Moji is not effective at getting into fights. Moji's best bet is to try and stay quiet, try and stay sneaky, then bust out your R2, your L2, your R2, your L2, your R2, your L2, things of that nature. She's not effective. Scamper is a good tool to get in and close the distance. Magic Barrier is your best bet for either getting out of a fight or for staying into a fight. And this is an important thing to note, which I'm going to show you right here. Your ult is very hard to hit. Hitting it over a long range is not going to work. Plain and simple. You need to get close to a target. Now let's say we've ulted this Pip right here. Your best strategy is to use Scamper to close the distance, even though I kind of
Killing spree.
That is your best bet for closing the distance. So a good way you can avoid a target is to just quite simply snack time and then Scamper into them and eat them. That's your best bet for being able to close distance on him. Moji is not a flank that's going to win battles by getting in and out of the situation. Also note that Nimble should not be your first choice on a flank, just because you have bad mobility. On some champions, Nimble's a good choice, but on Moji, it's kind of useless. Master Rider's better for positioning and morale boost if you're constantly missing your ults. Although, you don't need morale boost if you have the right loadout cards like I do. Ah, shit. Wrong one. Now, the last champion we need to cover is Lex, because Lex has gone from being OP to just
Spin your
straight up
credits before
bad
I spin them
sometimes.
for you.
But the key to your success, by the way, with Lex is realizing how he plays. He's actually the most intriguing flank in the game because he can play very diverse. For example, the Law 1s allows you to stack up to a 25% damage bonus. It's not great, and you're better off doing Discovery than the Law 1, because it only affects the target that your Retribution target. So Discovery is a better option. Discovery is a better option because it allows you to do more damage to your Retribution target. Killing your Retribution target allows you to heal yourself better, and gives you more Retribution targets to go after. Death Hastens changes how you perform completely. Death Hastens gives you that 25% damage bonus on champions above 65% health. This is great because you need to realize that your ult is an insta-kill to champions below 65% health. So if you want the constant way to keep ulting people, run Death Hastens with a pursuit-oriented build and build morale boost. One pursuit is all you need to burst a target down below 65% health, which you can then subsequently make sure no one escapes the law. But we're going to talk about heroism today. I just wanted to explain that right there. What those abilities allow you to do. Discovery turns you into a true flank, in that your job is to get behind enemy lines and focus a specific target. Death Hastens gives you versatility and utility, allowing you to be both flexible by mowing down targets so that once again your damages can do that. Your damages are more your flanks. On Skye, on Moji, on Lex, on Talus, you need to realize that your damage is going to be the flank. They're going to be the finisher. Flanks, by the way, just as another FYI, are not finishers. It's not their job to secure kills. Now it is when it says, oh, you need a killing blow. But thinking about it that way, that it's strictly a flank's job to get a kill, is wrong. Otherwise, damages wouldn't be able to get kills. Supports wouldn't be able to get kills. Front lines wouldn't be able to get kills. They would just do their job. Heroism is the key right here because it gives you the ability, it gives you the most mobility. What is Lex's problem? Well, let's take a look. Gotta go up top. Lex
Spin your credits before I
can't
spin
slide
them for
out of a
you.
Genos Void Grip. Lex has to rely on being on the ground to constantly slide around. And yes, he can slide around like a madman, and he has CC immunity and damage reduction while doing that. And he does retain the ability to fire while sliding. What you need to realize with Lex is that Lex is the ideal, what I like to call, flanker, but not flank. There's a distinction. Flankers excel at getting into the backline. Flanks excel at actually dealing damage in the backline. Once Lex gets in the backline, what does he have? Pursuit, which is a good starter and finisher, but it's not a go-to option. And then you need to slide out. Just like with Skye, just like with Moji, he's a champion that relies on damage. Your teammates need to soften him up for you to be effective, whereas Skye and Moji can deal good damage. The problem that most of these type of champions have is actually getting into the backline. And on maps like Serpent Beach, Lex is at disadvantage because he doesn't have vertical mobility. Lateral mobility and vertical mobility are two big differences with flanks. And most people get upset if you're not picking a flank that has some degree of vertical mobility. Which is why if you look at all of the champions that I named before that are in the good category, Xin, Maze, Koga, Androxus, Buck, and Eevee all have vertical mobility. But the problem is vertical mobility is overrated if you're not able to confirm. Now, why are Talus, Skye, Moji, and Lex good options? Because they're ultimate. For a couple of them, it's their ultimates. Starting on Moji, Moji's ability is a one-shot ability on any champion. Ult, eat the cookie, and you're done. Skye is an excellent champion because of her ultimate as well. Now, she can, because her ability allows her to control space very well.
I should buy
Talus
something fun
has
with
an
these
incredibly
credits.
good ability because Talus's ultimate, oh god. Really? It won't reset? Okay. Well, basically, Talus's ability allows him to teleport all the way over there from the objective point and do that. And then the last one that we look at is Lex. And Lex has one of the better abilities as well, because, where are they at? That's why. He's able to power down multiple targets at the same time. Now, look at the abilities of your other champions.
I need to
Those are
spend
all
my
good
credits.
power abilities if you know how to use them. So we look at Guillotine. I'll use this build for the hell of it. Oh, it won't. Guillotine, his ultimate only affects one target. And if you're not running Guillotine... I'm just simulating right now. You're dead.
Gotta spend this cash.
Maeve's ultimate is just shit.
No.
Hey, it's all invisible. Woo, you can't see me. Oh, you're dead. Koga's ultimate is kinda useful. It's a good area control denial and the fact that it goes through shielding and it gives you damage immunity. The problem is targets can escape it fairly easily and it actually isn't really enough to burst down a target. It's better for killing a close group of enemies that are already low health, or it's good for bursting down a high health target. Problem is, it's specialized and you have to get close to do it. I'll just pick this. Androxus's ult is bad because... well, that right there. You fire 4 shots off and they deal increased damage and they allow you to fly up into the air. Boo-hoo. You can also miss your targets fairly easily and once you're done firing it off, it's kind of sad. Then you've got Buck. Buck has a Tyra ult. Hear the wind up! Blam, 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 blam! I'll consume ammo, I fire faster! I'll consume ammo, I fire faster! I'll consume ammo, I fire faster! Oh, I have to heal. Well, that's valuable time you've wasted. Good job. Then there's Eevee, the last flank.
Spend my credits.
I'll pick this. Now we've got Eevee. Just gonna fly into the point. Achoo! Get crippled! Oh, you're still shooting me. Ow, that hurts. I'm dead. All of your flankers with good vertical mobility don't have any essential power ult that can change the game. For example, Moji and Lex have the ability to eliminate a single target instantly. Now, there are specific conditions. Moji has to touch the champion, and Lex can only eliminate a champion below a certain health pool, whereas with the other two champions, Talus is more specialized in that he can dismount enemy teams at the start of a fight, or he can get back to a point and contest the point if it's in overtime and your team is losing, and you have to look at Skye is just an area control. The other flankers primarily rely around their mobility more. Now, Lex is kind of the exception. People just shit on him for no reason because he has lower tier damage, but his ground mobility is good. On the ground, there are very few champions that can dispute him. If you want to rule out champions with aerial mobility, that being the ones I just named, Lex has the best mobility on the ground. And even Skye, who has absolutely no mobility skill in the game, is still a good mobile champion because she uses hidden to get in and out. So, why are flanks strong is the whole name of the video, and you've watched me monologue long enough. What's the point? Why is the flank class strong? Because there's one thing that flanks excel at, which is why Xin and Moji are some of the most banned champions, and why I see people banning Lex, and why I see people banning Maeve, or Buck, or for some fucking reason Androxus, is, and I'm going to show you
I
what's
need
in.
to spend my credits.
No. Smolder, max below. No. Smolder and use. What makes Xin so fucking annoying? A, it's annoying. That's why flanks are strong. Think about this. We're gonna go back to this example right here. So there's your flank. I need to use this again. So here's your flank in the enemy backline, in our backline. Here's your tank, and here's your healers and your damages. Okay. Why? I'm glitching out like a motherfucker right now. Here we go. What makes Xin so annoying? Why, Whirlin? You take some damage. You take some damage. You take some damage. Look under your seat. It's more damage. Up here, I pop up my counter. You can't hit me. Ooh, look at me heal up in your face. Ooh. Bye. Gotta bounce. Ah, gotta bounce. Nope, I'm out. Bye. See you later. Oh, you're still shooting at me? That's good. Counter. Make you pay for it. He has the ability to get in and out quickly, and he has the flexibility and the versatility to stay in. It's annoying because he's always in your backline. Good Xin players are always in your face. They're in your backline, and they're challenging you, and they're saying, hi, fuck you, this is my space. Bad Xin players try and use Yomi, and they try and snipe, and say, I can hit you over here. I can hit you over here. Look at me, I'm hitting you over here. Ta 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 ta. You know what an enemy damage dealer loves? A Xin that's standing right here saying, I can hit you over here. Because he says, good, so can I. Faster, for more damage, more effectively, better. You know what enemy damages don't like? Hi! I don't think you see me. I'm right here. Oh, you're dead. Sorry about that. Oh, there's your buddy. Let me go pounce on him now. Hi, guys! You don't see me! Ooh, yes you do. It's too late to escape. Oh, I'm taking damage. Bye. That's what makes a good flank. The ability to stay in an enemy's backline and annoy them. That's why Eevee and Xin are literally the most annoying flanks, because when they get behind you, they stay behind you. That's why Moji is one of the best flanks in the game, because she's a sit-on-point type of flank. She can stay. She has amazing sustain potential to just sit on the point, spray fire on you, and say, hi, if you want to get rid of me, you have to kill me. That's a lot of damage you have. I think I'll just magic barrier out, and oh, look, I'll kill you some more. That's why Skye is such an annoying type of character, because she's able to go invisible, sneak up behind you, blind you with smoke grenade, and then burst you down very quickly, and then run away. That's why flank champions are such a strong class. They do heavy amounts of damage, and by the way, if your flank is not getting a lot of kills, but they're getting a lot of damage, and you're not seeing the enemy, don't necessarily think your flank is doing a bad job. Specifically on Xin, like I've talked about. I have a great thing with Xin on Fish Market, where I can contest the enemy team for a long time. So I help work down my champions on the point, and back up and support. Now we cap it. So what do? I push up ahead, and I start dismounting people. And I'm able to sit there and stay and take it, and keep this army of pips. This Pipant, I missed the pun. This Pipant army of pips from staying and coming after my team. Constantly using my abilities to keep the enemy team off balance and not allowing them to pass. Then billow out to the safety of my team so that I am protected by my team after we've captured the point. That's what makes a good flank. I'm not going to get a lot of kills 1v4ing and 1v3ing and 1v5ing the enemy team, but I'm going to guarantee us a capture, and I'm going to guarantee that the enemy team hates my fucking guts, and that's all I have to do. And that's why Zins are banned. And that's why emojis are banned. And that's why Lex is banned. And that's why Buck is banned. And Maeve. And as soon as Koga ever hits ranked, which will probably be tomorrow, Koga will be banned. And if you're not banning Koga, then whoever the fuck is in charge of banning on your team needs somebody new in charge. Because if that fucker ain't banned, you're dead. Especially if you don't have first pick. If your team has first pick, and you don't ban Koga, and your first pick doesn't ban Koga, you can bet your ass the enemy team does, and you're dead. Because he's single-handedly the most annoying champion in the game because of Master of Arms, and the fact that he can sit there and not lose ammo. I'm shooting, oh, I reload. I'm shooting, oh, I reload. And I'm shooting, and oh, I need to reload. And I'm shooting, and oh, I need to reload. Notice how I'm healing myself the whole time, because I'm shooting, and then I get to reload. And then I'm shooting him, and oh, I need to reload, that's okay.
That's 5 in a row.
It's fucking annoying as hell. Anyways, that has been my video on why flanks are a strong class. I hope this has been an educational tool for you. If not, and you're one of those PC Master Race people that thinks I'm wrong, bite